Varicose vein relief. The 5-minute evening ritual for heavy, tired legs. Observe closely the profound transformation evident in these images. On one side, we witness legs marked by the visible signs of daily strain, perhaps appearing swollen, tired, and traversed by the subtle beginnings of vascular concerns. Yet, on the other, merely 14 days hence, we are presented with the very same limbs, now remarkably revitalized, exhibiting a notable reduction in visual distress and a renewed sense of lightness. This astonishing metamorphosis, far from being the outcome of complex medical interventions or strenuous regimens, is instead the direct result of a remarkably accessible and simple commitment. A mere 5 minutes dedicated each day, utilizing nothing more than 2 ordinary pillows retrieved from your living room sofa, and engaging in one elegantly designed exercise specifically engineered to re-energize the circulatory flow within your lower extremities, coaxing dormant blood back into vigorous motion. Consider, my dear friends, the familiar, often debilitating sensation that settles into your legs as the day draws to a close. That pervasive heaviness, a leaden weightiness that makes each step feel like an effort, as if you've spent countless hours anchored to the kitchen counter, enduring an unending shift. Perhaps you've noticed your ankles beginning to betray a subtle, yet undeniable, puffiness, a persistent swelling that leaves a lasting impression, literally, of your sock's elastic band still visible on your skin long after evening meals have concluded. Or perhaps your gaze has caught the delicate tracery of tiny blue veins, almost like fine spider webs, subtly surfacing beneath the skin on your shins, evolving into more prominent, sometimes discomforting, bulging veins that progressively extend their presence along your thighs, signaling a deeper circulatory challenge. If any of these descriptions resonate with your personal experience, if these telltale signs of venous insufficiency have become an unwelcome part of your daily reality, then let me assure you, this comprehensive guide has been meticulously crafted with your specific needs and well-being in mind. It offers a beacon of hope and a practical pathway to alleviate these common yet often overlooked discomforts. Today, our focus deviates from the often repeated narrative concerning the origins of varicose veins. The vast digital landscape is already saturated with myriad videos dissecting the multitude of causes, and it is highly probable that many of you have already invested considerable time absorbing dozens of these explanations. Despite this wealth of information, a persistent paradox remains. The legs continue to ache. The discomfort stubbornly persists. Why is this so? The answer lies in a crucial distinction. While a multitude of individuals possess an intellectual understanding of the underlying causes, a significantly smaller proportion truly grasps the actionable steps, the concrete strategies that can be effectively implemented within the comfort of one's own home to address these issues. Therefore, our path forward is clear and decisively practical. I am poised to unveil a singular, potent exercise that requires no sophisticated machinery, no pharmaceutical interventions, and no specialized, expensive equipment. All that is necessary is your commitment, 2 ordinary household pillows, and a sturdy wall. This remarkably effective method is far from a fleeting trend. It boasts a venerable history spanning over half a century. Its principles are meticulously documented in esteemed medical handbooks, and its undeniable efficacy is rigorously substantiated by a wealth of clinical research, the corroborating links for which I will provide in the descriptive section accompanying this guide. However, before we delve into the precise mechanics of this transformative exercise, it is imperative to address a crucial word of caution. This particular movement possesses a profound capacity to significantly enhance and redirect blood flow through your venous system. It is precisely this potent physiological effect that necessitates prudence in certain circumstances. If you have received a medical diagnosis of deep vein thrombosis, DVT, if you are currently contending with blood clots, or if you have been identified with thrombophlebitis, it is absolutely paramount that you refrain from engaging in this exercise until you have secured explicit approval and guidance from your physician. Your doctor's expert assessment is non-negotiable in such delicate medical scenarios. Similarly, if you have recently undergone surgical procedures on your legs or within your intricate blood vessel network, the same principle applies with equal weight. Prioritize your medical professional's counsel. Your well-being comes first, and this exercise, while beneficial, must defer to post-surgical recovery protocols. Furthermore, for those individuals who have surpassed the age of 45 and whose veins have not been subject to a recent medical examination, it is highly advisable to initiate a conversation with your healthcare provider regarding the possibility of undergoing a vein ultrasound. This procedure is a remarkably straightforward and entirely painless diagnostic tool, requiring no special preparation beforehand. The majority of medical clinics routinely offer this service, primarily to afford you peace of mind and to proactively rule out any latent or undiagnosed venous concerns before you embark on this or any new physical regimen. For all other individuals who are generally feeling well and have not experienced any preceding vein-related issues or diagnoses, you are unequivocally cleared to proceed with confidence. And just one more small yet meaningful consideration before we prepare to settle onto the floor and begin. If the topic of venous health and the alleviation of leg discomfort holds personal significance for you, if this information resonates with a genuine need, I kindly encourage you to express your appreciation by giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. Every single like serves as an important signal to the YouTube algorithm, indicating that this content is valuable and helpful. This collective endorsement, in turn, amplifies the video's reach, ensuring it is presented to a broader audience, potentially reaching one more person whose legs ache with unexplained discomfort and who feels at a loss for effective solutions. In this way, through a simple act of engagement, we extend our assistance not merely to ourselves, but also contribute to the well-being of others within our community. Your support in this endeavor is deeply appreciated, and now, with preliminary considerations thoroughly addressed, let us transition to the practicalities. Here is precisely what you will need to prepare. Thankfully, it is quite minimal. First, identify a clear, unobstructed stretch of wall that measures at least approximately 6 feet in width. This spatial requirement is, in fact, quite significant, as you will need ample room to comfortably spread your legs apart during the exercise. Attempting this in a confined or narrow space will genuinely impede the effectiveness and ease of the movements. Next, procure either a dedicated yoga mat or, failing that, a thick, folded blanket. Lying directly on a bare, unyielding floor can prove to be both uncomfortable and unpleasantly cold, and our primary objective is for you to be enveloped in a state of relaxation and ease throughout the entire process. Finally, you will need 2 standard pillows, the kind you would typically find on your couch or bed. Whatever readily available options you have around your home will suffice perfectly. All right, with our preparations complete and our space ready, let's now proceed directly to the exercise itself, the very core of this beneficial practice. Begin by approaching your chosen wall. Lay your mat or folded blanket out so that it is positioned flush against the base of the wall. Next, take your 2 pillows and stack them neatly, one directly on top of the other, placing this elevated cushion assembly precisely at the junction where the mat meets the wall. Now, carefully lie down on your back on the mat. As you lower yourself, gently plant your feet flat against the wall, allowing your legs to extend upwards. Ensure your shoulder blades slide comfortably along the surface of the mat, aligning your upper body. Gradually scoot your body a little closer to the wall, adjusting your position until your tailbone, that distinct bony prominence situated just above your buttocks, rests squarely and comfortably upon the stacked pillows. If, at first attempt, you find it challenging to achieve this precise alignment immediately, there is absolutely no cause for concern. This is perfectly normal and easily remedied. Simply lie down close to the wall, then, with Gentle, deliberate movements. Slide the pillows underneath you until they are correctly positioned beneath your tailbone. The paramount objective here is that there should be no perceptible pressure or strain on your lower back whatsoever. The presence of the pillows is specifically designed to provide gentle elevation and support, ensuring your spine remains in a neutral, comfortable alignment. You know what is truly fascinating and profoundly effective about this particular arrangement? The exercise has, in essence, already begun to exert its beneficial influence, and we haven't even initiated any active movement yet. Take a moment to observe the subtle yet powerful physiological shifts that are occurring. Your hips are now gently but distinctly elevated above your torso, fostering an immediate change in your body's orientation relative to gravity. Your entire body is invited into a state of profound relaxation and absence of tension that is crucial for optimal blood flow. Gravity, an omnipresent force, is now acting as your gentle ally, meticulously pulling your mesentery, that delicate, vital tissue which serves to hold your internal organs securely in their proper anatomical positions, gently upward toward your diaphragm. Simultaneously, your pelvic area experiences a sensation of opening and expansion, alleviating any constriction. Critically, and without any conscious effort on your part, blood has already commenced its passive gravitational drainage from your legs. This phenomenon, this pure, unadulterated effect of gravity, is the precise reason we intentionally adopt this foundational position. For now, simply rest in this posture for a calm and measured 30 seconds. Focus on your breath, allowing it to flow in and out smoothly and deeply through your nose, cultivating a sense of serene tranquility. Now, I can anticipate what some of you might be contemplating at this very moment. Perhaps you're thinking, couldn't I achieve a similar effect by simply performing a shoulder stand? Let me unequivocally address that question. No, you truly cannot. And there is a fundamental physiological reason why this is the case. In a traditional shoulder stand, your entire body is engaged in a state of intense muscular tension. Your core musculature is deeply activated, and virtually every muscle group is working strenuously to maintain the inverted posture. Here, in stark contrast, the scenario is the precise opposite. Your body is permitted to remain in a state of complete and utter relaxation, with your legs receiving full, unwavering support from the wall. This passive support system allows you to sustain this beneficial inverted position for an extended duration without expending any significant physical effort whatsoever. A shoulder stand, by its very nature, is an active, demanding pose that will typically induce fatigue within a mere minute or so. In our method, however, you simply recline, allowing the natural forces of gravity and your resting circulation to perform their restorative work on your legs. This distinction between active muscular engagement and passive supported relaxation represents a fundamental and critical difference in the physiological impact and sustained benefits of the two approaches. Before we transition into the active movements, a couple more brief but important points to consider. It is perfectly normal and indeed quite common if you happen to experience a sensation of slight dizziness or a mild rhythmic pounding in your temples during these initial moments. This temporary sensation is nothing to be alarmed by. It is simply a benign indication that blood is now actively and efficiently flowing to your upper body and head, an area that might have previously received less vigorous circulation when your legs were heavy. If this sensation occurs, simply maintain your resting position for the full 30 seconds, then gently and slowly sit up. Stand for a brief moment, allowing your body to fully reacclimatize, and then, if you feel comfortable, return to the inverted position against the wall. After a few days of consistent practice, your circulatory system and your entire body will naturally adjust to these beneficial shifts in blood flow, and these transient sensations will dissipate. Okay, with these considerations in mind, let's now purposefully engage those legs and activate their vital pumping mechanisms. From your relaxed next elevated position with your feet against the wall. Gently lift your legs away from the wall. Now, with a controlled motion, spread them apart as wide as your current flexibility comfortably allows, extending them into a broad V shape. Once fully spread, consciously pull your toes back toward your face, creating a strong dorsiflexion at the ankles. Then, fluidly bring your legs back together, returning them to a parallel position directly above your hips. So, the complete sequence of this core movement is: spread your legs wide, actively pull your toes back toward your face, and then close your legs back together. Repeat this rhythmic pattern: spread, pull toes toward you, close, spread, toes toward you, close, spread, toes toward you, close. The absolute most crucial aspect of this movement is to commit to its full range of motion, eschewing any temptation to perform it halfway. Only by engaging in this complete, deliberate articulation will you genuinely feel your calf muscles ignite, contracting powerfully. This deep engagement of the calf muscles is precisely what constitutes the calf pump, a vital physiological mechanism we will briefly discuss further. Concurrently, as you intentionally spread your legs as wide as they comfortably extend, you are simultaneously opening up the crucial groin folds. This anatomical region represents a primary pathway through which blood must efficiently travel back from your lower extremities toward your heart. Execute this movement with focus and intention for approximately 1.5 to 2 minutes, a duration that is sufficient for you to distinctly feel the muscles working and the blood circulating. Excellent, truly excellent work. Now, while your legs are thoroughly warmed up, activated, and primed, allow me to introduce a progression that will elevate the effectiveness of this ritual even further. We are going to perform a similar action, but instead of the linear opening and closing motion, we will now engage in sweeping circular movements. With both legs united, begin to draw expansive, wide circles in the air, making them as large and encompassing as your flexibility permits. Perform these fluid circles for a period of 30 seconds in one direction, then smoothly reverse the motion and continue drawing circles for another 30 seconds in the opposite direction. You will immediately perceive how this dynamic circular action profoundly opens up the groin folds even more effectively, enhancing the return flow of blood. And there remains one additional highly beneficial movement I am eager to demonstrate. It's a classic, universally recognized motion, the bicycle. I suspect there's little need for an elaborate explanation of what this entails. Virtually all of us have fond memories of pedaling bikes during our childhoods. Simply pedal in the air with both legs, mimicking the familiar action of riding a regular bicycle. However, here's a crucial detail, a nuanced element that almost everyone inadvertently overlooks, yet it is profoundly significant for maximizing the exercise's benefits. First, commence by pedaling forward for a sustained 30 seconds, just as you would typically ride. Then, and this particular phase is absolutely essential for comprehensive muscle engagement, reverse your pedaling direction and pedal backward for another 30 seconds. This backward pedaling motion specifically activates and strengthens muscle groups that are often neglected by conventional forward pedaling, ensuring a more holistic stimulation of your lower leg and thigh muscles. That concludes the active portion of the exercise, signifying the end of the dynamic movements. However, it is vitally important that you do not hastily get up just yet. Gently guide your legs back against the wall, returning to the initial elevated position, and simply rest there for precisely 1 more minute. Allow your entire body to relax completely and maintain an easy, natural rhythm of breathing. I understand that it might feel as though the workout is finished, but the beneficial physiological effects are, in fact, still very much in progress, continuing their subtle yet powerful work. During this crucial final minute of stillness, blood and interstitial fluids are actively redistributing throughout your body. Your veins are undergoing a period of essential recovery and gentle retoning. This last quiet minute of passive rest is every bit as important and impactful as the preceding active segment. Therefore, under no circumstances should you be tempted to skip it. A couple more insights that might initially come as a surprise. It is perfectly normal for your feet to begin feeling somewhat cold during the course of this exercise. Please do not be alarmed by this sensation. Rather, interpret it as a positive and reassuring sign. It unequivocally indicates that the blood has indeed moved efficiently out of your lower legs and feet, actively circulating upward toward your heart, precisely the desired physiological outcome we are aiming for. To mitigate this sensation and maintain comfort, a simple proactive measure is to don a pair of warm socks beforehand. And finally, a critically important instruction: how to properly and safely transition out of this inverted position. Please, under no circumstances, simply jump up. Such an abrupt movement could lead to lightheadedness or dizziness. Instead, meticulously follow these steps. Begin by gently taking your legs down off the wall, bending your knees. Place your feet flat on the floor, allowing them to rest there. Next, carefully roll over onto your right side and remain in this resting posture for approximately 30 seconds. This allows your blood pressure and circulation to gradually reacclimate to a horizontal position. Following this, slowly and deliberately sit up, maintaining a calm and controlled pace. Sit upright for an additional 5 to 10 seconds, providing a further opportunity for your body to adjust. Only then, with measured movements, gently stand up. Regarding the optimal timing for this beneficial ritual, performing it on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, ideally before breakfast, presents the most advantageous window. This allows your body to fully focus on circulatory redistribution without the added task of digestion. If your schedule permits and you choose to perform it in the evening, it is imperative to wait at least 2 to 3 hours after your last meal, ensuring your digestive system has had ample time to process food. However, and this constitutes the second, equally important part of the timing directive, you must complete this exercise at least 1 hour before you intend to go to bed, no later. Allow me to elaborate on the physiological rationale behind this instruction. This exercise is exceptionally effective at mobilizing and shifting blood and excess fluid out of your legs. As a direct consequence, your kidneys will be stimulated to kick into a higher gear, actively processing and redistributing this fluid throughout your body. If you were to perform this right before succumbing to sleep, you would almost certainly find yourself interrupting your nocturnal rest multiple times to make trips to the bathroom. So, while the evening is a perfectly viable time slot, ensure there is a clear buffer period before you actually hit the pillow. Concerning the duration of the exercise, how long should you maintain this practice? Begin conservatively with a duration of just 1 or 2 minutes. There is no need to push yourself or attempt to be a hero in the initial stages. Your body requires a period of gentle adjustment to the sudden yet beneficial shift of blood from your lower extremities up toward your head. During these early sessions, it is perfectly normal if you experience a slight feeling of lightheadedness or a gentle thumping sensation in your temples. These are simply your circulatory system adapting to the altered blood flow. After 2 or 3 days of consistent practice, you will comfortably find yourself extending the duration to 3 minutes. By the culmination of the first week, a sustained 5 minutes will feel entirely manageable. And here is one more crucial tip. You are not obligated to complete the full 5 minutes all in one continuous session. If at any point this feels like an excessive demand, you are strongly encouraged to break it down into smaller, more digestible sets. For instance, lie down for 90 seconds or 2 minutes, then gently stand up for approximately 30 seconds, allowing the blood to briefly flow back into your legs. Following this, lie down again for another 90 seconds. You can repeat this sequence 2 or 3 times. This segmented approach still yields the very same profound benefits, but for many individuals, particularly during the initial days of adopting this ritual, it feels significantly easier and more accessible. Furthermore, this deliberate back and forth movement, alternating between elevation and standing, actually serves a beneficial purpose. It helps to train your blood vessels, enhancing their responsiveness and overall tone. And the final, utterly paramount aspect of preparation for success is consistency. To achieve the transformative results we've discussed, you will want to integrate this practice into your daily routine, performing it twice a day, one round in the morning and another in the evening. The morning session serves as an invigorating wake-up call for your legs, preparing them for the demands of the day ahead by enhancing circulation from the outset. The evening session, on the other hand, is specifically designed to effectively clear out any accumulation of swelling and to alleviate the pervasive tiredness that inevitably builds up over the course of the day. There are no designated days off, no skipping. If your goal is to witness tangible, meaningful results within the promised time frame of 2 weeks, then unwavering daily commitment is absolutely essential. To further amplify the positive effects of this regimen, consider integrating one more powerful yet gentle technique: a contrast shower specifically for your legs after you rise in the morning. Let me be unequivocally clear. We are not advocating for extreme measures such as ice baths or cold plunges, especially for individuals over 60 years of age, as these can pose a serious and unnecessary risk to cardiovascular health. Instead, adopt a gentle approach. Direct warm water onto your legs, extending up to your knees for a duration of 30 seconds. Following this, switch to noticeably cool but not frigid water for 15 seconds. Repeat this alternating cycle 3 times and always conclude the entire process with the cool water. This rhythmic temperature change is precisely what helps to maintain the tone and elasticity of your veins. This methodology is famously known as the Kneipp method, a simple yet profoundly effective water therapy that has been embraced and utilized for over a century. In Germany, even today, it remains a commonly recommended and integrated component of comprehensive varicose vein care. Moreover, a systematic review conducted as recently as 2023 provided further evidence supporting its potential benefits. However, a crucial caveat accompanies this recommendation. If you have a history of high blood pressure, it would be prudent to exercise caution and potentially forego this method until you have had an opportunity to discuss it with your doctor. So there you have it, my friends. The complete actionable blueprint for relief. 2 ordinary pillows, a dedicated 5 minutes each day, and the optional yet highly beneficial addition of a gentle contrast shower for your legs. This is a commitment to be undertaken every single day without fail or skipping for a straight 2 weeks. The results will manifest progressively. That familiar evening heaviness will begin to lift and diminish noticeably within just 3 to 4 days. Any persistent swelling will typically start to recede within a week. The appearance of smaller spider veins will begin to fade over a period of 2 to 3 weeks. For the larger, more prominent varicose veins, you will observe them shrinking in size, and crucially, they will cease to cause discomfort. While their complete disappearance may take several months of consistent practice, you will undoubtedly witness clear, encouraging progress along the way. This is not some mystical or magical cure. It is pure applied physiology. You are simply reactivating and optimizing a natural circulatory pump within your body that had, for various reasons, become somewhat idle. All of the clinical studies and supporting research that underscore the efficacy of this method are meticulously documented in the description section below. I encourage you to read them yourself to verify the information presented here. Please feel free to drop a comment below and share your experience, particularly noting which movement you found most challenging and how your legs are now feeling after incorporating this ritual. I personally read every single comment. Remember, merely knowing without actively doing is simply information. It carries no inherent power to heal or to transform. If this comprehensive guide has proven helpful and empowering, please do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel to support our mission of sharing beneficial knowledge. Wishing you strong, healthy, and revitalized legs. I look forward to connecting with you in our next video.